coming to this particular transportation, now maybe is there any new joiners today, or it's from the yesterday's one, Suresh?
No, yesterday.
All right then. So okay guys, and so based on the yesterday's demo, we are planning to go ahead with the thing. So if any of the new members are there, please let me know. So we'll try to recap what we have done yesterday at least. Okay, so based on that, what are we trying to do here is we are trying to have an overview, a kind of an overview. What is a TM thing, architecture and the master data, or the order management and the planning. And this is what the main topics are what we have discussed in detail. Now, however, when we are trying to perform these kind of an activities, you indeed needs to understand what kind of the scenarios which we are trying to have it, because as we see that we are talking about two different scenarios. Okay, so what is a shipper and what is an LSP? I believe that is really clear for us, everyone, right? Hello.
A shipper is that manufacturer who is sending the material to customer, and LSP owns his own fleet.
Who could be his own fleet, or who is managing the customer's own indeed. Yeah. So in both the scenarios, indeed, we are trying to have this shipper concept here now. Okay. Now, when I'm trying to have this particular shipper scenario in place, now what are the things I would be requiring indeed? The very first thing is some kind of an organizational data that I would be requiring. Agreed, everyone? Hello?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So when I talk about anything of an organizational data, what kind of an organizational data I would be requiring, because we indeed require a few kind of an setup. So the data from the ECC perspective, I mean, from, because we are talking about an embedded landscape indeed. So we might be requiring from the S4 ERP side, we would require some set of an organizational data, and as well as from the transportation management as well, right? Agreed, guys? Yes, indeed. So let's talk about the basic organizational data, what we would be requiring from a shipper perspective. Let's assume that what kind of an organizational data that we require, guys? Anyone? Can someone help me out? Anyone, guys?
Like this sales organization, division.
Go ahead. It's okay. Whatever it is, we'll try to list it out, and we'll try to understand the significance of it. Why? Because what is the purpose of having a sales organization, and what is the purpose of having a purchasing organizations? First, we need to understand that, right? So let's try to get into those details now. So can someone list me out an organizational data? What we really require here, guys? Can someone tell me that? Hello? Please.
Yes, I think shipping point is the main one, right? So shipping point would be required.
That's it.
Plant shipping point.
Okay. Go ahead. No worries, guys. Go ahead. I'm just trying to make you understand what is a kind of an organizational data we would be requiring. First, do we require a company code, company and a company codes? And we would be requiring a plant.
Yes.
And we would be requiring your purchasing organizations. And we would be requiring your sales organizations. I'm so sorry. Sales organizations. And we would be requiring your shipping points.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
And what else? List it out, man. Nice. And then within these purchasing organizations, we also require a purchasing groups, right? And within the sales organizations, again, we'll have something called as a sales division.
Yeah, sales area, you can put it as a.
Yeah, put it as a sales area, just for our understanding. Okay. And what else, man? Tell me. If in case, if we are having some kind of an EWM or maybe a warehouse managing again, then we'll be having some kind of an EWM managed org data. That's a different story. Don't worry about that. Next, what else do you require?
TPP, transportation planning point.
loading groups and unloading groups and other stuff, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And so these are some kind of
party details.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Ship to party details, who's the customer destination, like that.
No, I was only talking about an organizational data. Okay, I'm not talking about a master data or maybe of some other things here. Okay, so first let me just only focus on few of the organizational data. What even the shipping point also will not come here, but still I'm just trying to figure it out. What are we trying to do as a part of an organization now? Okay, everyone. Okay, so indeed, what are we trying to do here? We are trying to understand how this particular thing, indeed, what does that mean? Wait, let me just not sure whether I think my screen is lost or
yeah.
Come on. This is so strange. When I jump out of this one, I don't know why I lost this because I'm trying to share another PPT. Okay, this is what I've listed down so far, right? When I talk about an organizational data, a company code or a sales or a purchasing organizations or a planning or an execution groups, or maybe a forwarding houses and the sales and other information. So all these things, whatever we have, we can do it. Agreed, everyone. Now, what is the significance of this particular one? Like, for example, what kind of significance we would be requiring here? Can someone tell me?
You want to say the first company code, right? You are asking
Yeah,
about the company code, the first part, correct?
the basics. I'm not getting into that. Okay. What could be the significance for having this in place, like a company code? What does it do, and where do we are having it?
Company code is a financial entity, right? So basically,
exactly.
Yes.
So in order to have your financial entries to maintain, okay, those are the ones which we would be doing it there, indeed, right?
Yes.
So now let me just show you now, indeed. So each and every organizational data element, guys, in the transportation management, we had some kind of a significance. For example, in our org element, for example, for the company code, we would be having the significance in your transportation charge management. In order to have your financial entries to other things and all, we would be requiring it. But indeed, in the transportation management perspective, we mainly focus on this organizational data, whatever I've highlighted in this presentation, like such as your sales organizations or your purchasing organizations or your planning and execution group and all these things. Okay. Now, hereby, what is the significance of having the sales? Now, what does this sales do? Anyone? What kind of an understanding we do have it?
Sales.
Selling the product to customer.
Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead. Good. You're in the right direction. Yes.
Selling the product to customer.
Means okay. Now, why we need to use a purchasing organizations and as well as a sales organizations in the transportation management then, and why it is mainly used for your forwarding orders, or maybe why the purchasing organizations is being used for your freight orders or maybe for your freight bookings? What is the significance out of it? Tell me.
Sales organization is a selling entity, right? And I mean, when you say as a forwarding order, right? So basically, the forwarding, I mean, the freight cost would be added in the, it would be billed to the forwarder, right? Whatever the charges is going to happen. It's basically the outbound process. And the purchasing is exactly opposite to that, right? I mean, whatever the product is being.
Perfect. The purchasing is oppositely in the sense, what kind of an purchasing we'd be doing it here then?
Actually, yeah, I'm sorry. Sriram, actually is two things. One is the revenue part, one is the payment part. account receivable, account payment. Whenever a account payment will come, that is purchase. Whenever the receivable is coming, that can be sales.
Okay. So okay, let's stick to that point now. Okay. Now, what I'm trying to do here, let's try to have one flow diagram. Okay. So I'll have a sales order here. Okay. And against a sales order, we will create an outbound delivery, right? This is a standard flow. Agreed?
Correct. Yes.
And against this outbound delivery, what we do, guys, now? Tell me. Let's talk about the shipment processing itself.
Picking, packing, goods session, probably the shipment creation with this.
Exactly. Pick,
pack,
then ship it, right?
Yes.
Then we do perform the PGI for this, right?
Yes, goods issue would be done and
then what you do? That's it.
Yes.
Any other things here? Any new things will come up?
Yes. In ACC part, coming to ACC part, we have to do it shipment cost creation.
So this is our standard way of our outbound delivery working in the system. Agreed, guys? Everyone? Like the traditional way of working. Now let's come to the transportation way of working. We'll create the same way of sales order. We will have your outbound delivery, but when we are planning, okay, now here comes the major part, whether we need to have the transportation planning needs to be done either at a sales order level or either at an outbound delivery level. You're getting my point? Yes, no, yes.
No,
guys?
No, Sriram. I mean,
okay, indeed. So after you pick, pack, you ship it, and then you plan your transportation, or when do you plan your transportation here? Tell me normally. At what level?
While doing the outbound.
While
creating outbound delivery.
Exactly. While creating the outbound delivery itself, will upfront have a kind of a planning that what kind of a vehicle is required or what kind of a resource. Basically, in transportation management, we'll call them as a resource masters. Okay, I'll be using the same. So we'll be finding out what are the resources available for us, and based on that, we'll plan it. Agreed, everyone? Yes, no, yes, guys?
Yes.
Okay, this is a traditional way. Okay, then what happens here then? Okay, we will plan and we'll do the carrier selection, everything, picking, packing, everything was done and the goods are delivered and we use some carrier here. Okay, now once the goods are delivered, what is the next action we are going to do here? Guys, we need to settle them, right?
Yes.
We need to settle the carrier, right? Because we have to pay for him, right? He will not do it for a free of cost for us, right? Everyone, am I making it clear? Now, here,
yes,
if you try to understand here, guys, what are we trying to do now? We are indeed purchasing the transportation services. Am I right? Am I making it right? Clear or not? Everyone?
Yes.
What are we trying to do here? Because I don't have my own fleet, guys. For example, okay, being in a Bosch or maybe a Wipro, I don't have my own fleet. Then what I have to do? I have to approach to a person who is providing me a services, a third-party carriers, and then I'm buying their services. What services I'm buying? Indeed, a transportation services I'm purchasing from them. You got my point? Everyone, first thing, what are we doing here? I'm purchasing it, guys, right? What I'm purchasing? I'm purchasing the transportation one, right?
Correct. Carrier is a vendor for us. I mean,
exactly. Carrier is always my vendor for me. Then what I'm trying to do here, I'm purchasing. That's the reason we would require a purchase organizations. All right.
Correct.
Everyone, please let me know, guys, if you're not clear. This is the fundamental things which you need to understand. Okay. So that is the reason behind.
Can you repeat one more time?
So when creating your organizational elements, guys, we indeed need to make sure that what is our company code and what is our sales organizations and what is our purchase organizations. And where are we using this sales organizations and where are we using this purchasing organizations, in which scenarios these are relevant for us. Now, when I'm talking about my sales organizations or purchasing organizations, first I'm talking about the purchase organizations, where I'll be using this. Indeed, I'll be using them in the freight order or maybe in the freight booking, where I'm purchasing some services from a certain carriers. Agreed? That is what I've mentioned here now. Clear? Yes, no, no, yes, guys.
Yes, clear.
Yes, yes, clear.
That is why we require this purchasing organization here, guys. First point. And this would be applicable only in your shipper scenarios. Please make it clear. Okay. In shipper scenarios only, we will have this purchasing organizations. And moreover, when we are dealing with the shipper scenarios, we will always have a freight order or a freight booking. And what is this freight order or booking here? When the mode of transportation is on a road, okay, then you will call it as a freight order. Okay. And when we are talking about a booking in the sense, we will book certain things, like for example air booking. Whenever you're dealing with your mode of transportation with air or a sea scenarios, then this is what we'll call it as a freight booking. In both the shipper scenarios, we will be using the purchasing organization as a reference. Why? Because you are purchasing some of their services and we have to pay them. In return, what we will be having, we will be creating a service PO, and in return we will have the invoice getting for them. Am I clear, guys? Yesterday? Any questions here now? Yes, no, no, yes, guys. Hello.
No, Sriram, I don't have any questions.
All right. Now, coming to the other scenario now. Okay, let's forget about this. Now, in this particular scenario, what are we trying to do now? In case of an LSP, okay, what are we trying to do here? We are selling the services, right? Because we are selling the transportation services. That's the reason we would require your sales organizations here. Okay, am I clear now? What is this presentation is now? Okay, everyone.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm there, guys. Please let me know. Yeah, hello. Yeah, what's that? Hello. I believe I'm audible.
I think you can continue, Sriram.
Yes, Sriram, you are audible. I mean, you can go ahead, please.
Yeah. So am I clear on the sales organizations and the purchasing organizations, and why do we require this?
Yes.
From the business point of view, why are we using these organization elements?
Yeah, the first scenario we are clear. I mean, I'm clear with this. The second
Yep.
scenario you was explaining correct. Yeah.
So that is the reason why we would be requiring this, both the cases, sales organizations and also the purchasing organizations. And the company code is required for your financial entries, guys, in order to have your finance related objects to be maintained. Okay, clear, everyone? And
Yeah.
coming to this point, okay, always remember this, guys. In an LSP scenarios, we will always call something called as a forwarding orders. There won't be any freight orders or freight bookings there. Okay, but in case of your normal listing, we will be having hey, 1 second. Yep, sorry. So here, what we're trying to do is, so the company code, sales organizations, and purchasing organizations. So this is what an organizational elements that you would be required in order to start off with any of the transportation management system. Okay, whether it could be your decentralized or whether it could be an S4 embedded, this remains the same. There's no change in that. Clear? I hope it's clear.
Yeah.
Okay, first point. Very good. So now, in order to have this, what is the one which we are trying to create now? We have to create all these things in the system. Anyhow, we know how to create a company code or a sales organization's purchasing organization. Anyhow, we will do that. Okay, not a problem. Now, the other thing. However, this is what we are trying to see the entire scenario, guys, normally. And coming back, and someone said that it was not clear even from the transportation management point of view, from the S4 side, we would be having two different kinds of licensing, guys. Okay, one would be a basic, the other one would be an advanced. Clear, everyone?
Okay.
Yeah. So the basic, in the sense, it's the kind of an what do you call? Whenever a customer is implementing any of the S4 embedded systems, you will be getting a basic modules for your EWM and for your TM and all the other rest modules. But when you would like to use an advanced functionalities, okay, for example, as I said, like a cockpit planning, which is the most important thing, and you want to have the integrations to be done, all these kind of things would require an advanced licensing, guys. Okay.
Only in case of integration we need advanced. That's what you meant
Not
to say.
only the integration, in even like if you want to do the transportation planning from a sales order perspective, then also the advanced license is required, because normally the transportation planning will normally behave from an outbound delivery level itself. Okay, that's a kind of a basic. But when you want to do your sales
But in this
order,
case, who is the customer and who is the client? Okay, please go on.
No, I didn't get you. What the customer means?
No, in this case, I'm just from a layman's perspective. When I'm raising a sales order, I am the customer, is it?
You will be raising a sales order to whom?
I am booking. I am booking a transport because we are acting. We are only raising the sales order and we are raising the purchase order here.
How is it possible?
Correct. That's what. It's not possible, right? So I just want to know who's the customer and who is the client.
So normally, how does a sales order work? Let's come from the basic point. So who will raise a sales order?
The guy who is actually selling it, selling the service.
All right, then, for example, all right. So with
we have the outbound delivery.
Okay.
Yeah, please continue.
No, go ahead.
No, we have the outbound delivery here, transport management. We book the carrier, it is delivered, and we settle it. So we are taking the service of the fleet.
A sales order is created when a customer places an order, right, for a product or a services. Agreed?
Correct.
So, for example, for a manufacturing firm, if a customer, who would be a customer? It could be an external partner or whoever it could be. When they have raised a sales order, to whom they're raising it?
To the manufacturing plant.
Exactly, right? So then what happens then? A sales order would be created for them. Agreed?
Correct.
Yes. Now, from the transportation perspective, what I was trying to say is that transportation planning is available to plan upfront. For example, if you're trying to plan some kind of an air bookings or maybe some kind of another ocean bookings, where upfront we have to plan it 6 months ahead, because it's not something like in road carriers where you can plan it in one day before, because you have to book the space for them and then You have to book the containers and you have to book the yard space. So there is a lot of stuff for that where you have to at least book it in advance of at least for 6 months. So then that point of time, if you're dealing with this kind of a business, normally what you do, we will be planning it upfront before the delivery gets created for us. You're getting it?
Right.
Yeah.
So based on the sales order, we raise the purchase order for the transportation service, or this is a separate entity again?
Let me come there. Hold on. Directly don't jump onto the purchase order. So now here what happens is the transportation planning can be done at 2 levels, guys. One at a sales order level, the other one at an outbound level. The advantage of doing it at a sales order level is indeed you would be getting a much better options of in terms of a carrier who would be available in the market, like who would be giving you a better good price or whatever it is. But in case of an outbound delivery planning, you will not have an enough adequate time to do the planning for that. You got my point?
Okay.
Do I?
Okay.
You got it, everyone?
Yeah, got it. Yeah. Continue.
Yeah. So then what happens? Then the system will create you something called as a freight unit. Just ignore that as of now. We'll discuss that more in detail. And that freight unit will be created as a freight order, and then we will create a carrier selection. Then you will have a purchase coming into the picture of your carrier, and then you will create a service entry sheet and a purchase order for that. Okay, this is how the process works in the transportation management case. Okay.
Okay. Right. So I just have one question. What is the prerequisite here to create the purchase order? There should be some prerequisite, right?
No.
Because
we are not creating a purchase order indeed. We are trying to give your transportation services as a subcontracting. Okay. The purchase order will not be created upfront here. The very first thing. Okay. Here we will try to build a kind of an interface with the carrier through the LBN or through the logistics, the LBN instance logistics business network, or through the collaboration portal. There we will try to have some kind of a subcontracting with them. Then upon the confirmation of the carrier and the charges and the settlements done, then a service PO gets created in our systems. Am I making it clear now?
Okay. Now I got the point.
Yeah. So you can't directly create a purchase order with a reference to a sales order here. That's what I mean to say. Okay. Everyone gets. Am I clear?
Yeah. Maybe when we get into the system, we'll know.
Exactly. So because it's just the baby steps what we are trying to do. I'm just trying to understand what is an organizational structure here and what are we trying to do with. That's what I'm not getting into the system on the day one itself. Guys. That's the time. Right. Because I need to make you understand what are we trying to do indeed. Okay. So that is what the significance of this particular organizational elements, guys. Everyone clear or not clear? Yes,
yeah, I'm clear. I'm clear.
Okay. Now, the same way, what we try to do is, where is this one, man? Not that. Yep. The same way, we also do in case, this was a scenario where we are discussing in case of an outbound. Like, you would be having some kind of an inbound scenario also. Agreed, everyone? When does this inbound comes into the picture?
For raw materials.
Exactly.
Procurement.
Exactly. So whenever you're procuring some kind of a raw materials, you want to store it in either in your one of your DCs or maybe in your warehouse. Okay. So then that point of time, you also required. So what you do normally here, okay, this is an outbound process. Let's forget about this now, because let's assume that again you require you created a purchase order, right? So who would be creating a purchase order, guys? Again, hello. When do we create a purchase order, guys? What is the significance out of it?
When we are trying to manufacture something for raw materials, we create a purchase order. That is one scenario.
To whom do we do it?
Vendor.
Something for buying. Yeah.
Yep. Now, after this, what happens?
You are going to receive the material.
Inbound delivery. Yes.
Exactly. you will have an inbound delivery for that. And now once you're receiving your, hey, come on, what is this, man? Once we are receiving your inbound delivery, then again you have to plan your transportation, right? How are you receiving the products, guys? There should be something.
Right, through transportation, either by road, rail, or
exactly. So the significance of the transportation is coming into the picture where here, whether you procure something or whether you sell your goods something, or maybe you want to distribute within your intra companies or inter companies, or you want to distribute your DCs, wherever it is, guys, you require a transportation system here, right? Because there should be some planning happening for this, because it's not something as soon as I create an inbound delivery, I'll just move my goods on the air. No, right? Because there should be a certain planning needs to be done, like what kind of a vehicle or what kind of a resources or what kind of when, what, all these things would be required. In this scenario, what happens? Yes, either I would plan my transportation at the time of creating a purchase order itself, or maybe at the time of creating my inbound delivery. So whatever the planning we are doing at an order level, always remember this will be an advanced planning. Whatever the planning we are doing at a delivery level, this would be a basic planning. Am I clear? First point. Okay. Am I making it? That is what the first difference between the advanced licensing and the basic licensing is. Okay. Yes, no,
got
yes.
It. Yeah, got it, Sriram. Yeah.
And the significance of the organizations. So what kind of an organization we will have to use here also? Can someone tell me?
Which scenario is that?
In case of an inbound purchasing order, what kind of the org elements that we would be requiring here? Do we require a purchasing organizations or we require a sales organization here?
We require purchasing organization, vendor details, all those things we need.
Okay, so the purchasing organizations is required in which business scenarios for us? Just now we discussed the board. Yes, because
here Sriram, here is a purchase order against. We are creating a forward order, means we are required sales organization.
A freight order, not a forward.
Freight order means, in this case, freight order means sales organization.
No. Another way around.
No,
always
it's a freight order, right?
Freight order. Why? Because
here the service purchase order is going to generate
the purchase order even in the
your service
scenario, or even in the outbound scenario, guys, we are buying the transportation services. We are not selling it here. You got it? In both the cases, we are buying it. Means buying in the sense, what are we trying to do here? We are procuring something and we are buying the transportation services, whether it could be an inbound or whether it could be an outbound here. So which means in both the cases, we will be always using a purchase organization only. We will never use a sales organization here. See, the sales organization will only come into the picture when you're selling something. Are you selling something here?
No.
Then?
Actually,
here, we're not selling anything. We are buying in both the cases.
That's I got correct here. That's what I mentioned it here. Whether is a forward order scenario or freight order scenario. If a freight order scenario means, in this freight order scenario means you have to generate the service purchase order. That's here the purchase order is required. Sorry, purchase organization is required. If you're going for the forward order, the same purchase order, I'm going to procure some external plate.
One second. The forward. Hold on. Just a correction. In a forwarding orders, we will never have a sales orders or a purchase orders there. As I said yesterday, when you jump into some kind of an DHL or a FedEx directly, when you walk into the store, they will create you a purchase order there, or they'll create you a quotation there.
It's always a quotation.
It's a quotation. So it's not without a reference of anything. They'll create a quotation and they'll tell you that, okay, this is the price. So there you will only have a forwarding order. You will not have any reference of your sales or your purchase orders there in the forwarding one. Just remember that. Okay, it's a quotation. You're going to get it there. Okay.
Yeah, I got it, Sriram. I got it.
Yes. Okay.
Why I'm saying that sales order means, that's what I'm asking in previous talks also. Is a forwarding order or freight order? So I'm doing the purchase order. I'm going to receive material. My own plate. I'm bringing the stock to my company. So in this case, what I will do means I can procure my transport management, whether FATF or a DLF. Then in this case, I'm going to the forwarding. That means forwarding agreement only. So that's what I'm asking you.
Going the forwarding agreement here. It's a freight agreement.
It's a not freight agreement because I'm going to procure that because I'm going to receive my material. They are not sending that material they want. So I'm going to bring the material at my own expense.
Okay, but you're okay. I got it. Okay, that's another way around you.
Yeah. This is an exceptional case. That's what I'm thinking of. Sorry for that.
No,
so you can do a straight
just keep it very simple because I don't want to confuse everyone, guys.
I'm sorry.
As simple as that. Okay. If you're purchasing something in either in your inbound or an outbound, it would be a shipper scenario. Purchase organizations will come into the picture. If you are selling something, then the sales organizations will come into the picture. As simple as that. Don't make it so complex, guys. Okay. I hope it's clear.
Yeah, it's very clear. It's very clear.
Yeah, because I don't want to make it, because there are scenarios, but indeed that we will talk about the later part, guys. First, let's only talk about the fundamentals here, and then we'll talk about the other scenarios. Okay. I hope it's clear to everyone now why and what kind of an organizations that we would be requiring and for what we'll be creating in the systems and all. All right, everyone. Okay.
Yes.
And this particular elements, whatever we are creating now, this indeed needs to be recreated even in the transportation management, because we can't directly use this. For that, we need to have a certain scenario, but anyhow, we will see that later. So this is how I'll always show the kind of data, what we are trying to do, guys. Okay, what kind of an purchasing organization and what kind of a master data and what kind of a data we would be requiring, everything. So I'll try to put it in this way, and I'll explain the terms, each and everything indeed. That's not a concern. Okay. However, now what is the other things we have? Okay. Now we understood what is a shipper and what is an LSP. There's no doubt in that, right? Okay.
Yes.
Now, as we said that, okay, order. Now, what kind of an orders we would be requiring is in generally? We just now discussed, right?
Yeah.
What are those?
Sales order.
Perfect.
Sales orders and purchase orders.
Purchase order. Even you have mentioned on the screen also, right? Yep.
Yes, agreed indeed. Next.
Written order, stock list order.
Yes. So all these are something of an orders, right?
Yes.
So basically, when we are talking about this order management case, here we had a few difference in this order management. Just remember that. Okay. Why? Because when we are talking about an S4 landscape, this order management has deviated from the standard decentralized landscapes. Okay, there we would be using something concept called as an OTR and DTR, order based transportation request and delivery based transportation request, and all these things will come into the picture. Anyhow, that we will see that later part, don't worry. So first we would be doing all these kind of things. However, okay, now after once we're done with our particular organizational structure, then we would be requiring the TM architecture. It's very simple that we are doing it in S4 embedded landscapes. That's not something you need to worry about that. And after that, yes, we need to compare what is a standalone and what is an embedded, which we'll slowly do it in the later sessions. And then we will need to understand what is your master data. There are a lot of master data which we have to create it, guys. So this is all, because it will take at least 4 to 5 sessions to come to this point. But I'm just trying to give you a kind of an overview of what we will be doing further. Okay. So slowly we will come into these steps, and then we will be understanding each and everything, guys. Here, you're getting me, everyone? Yes, no, no, yes, guys.
Yes, yes.
Yes, sure.
No worries, because it's being a day one, I don't want to put a lot of information on your head, but I'm slowly coming up one by one there. So first thing regarding the organizational management, I hope it is clear to everyone. I do not need to worry about this now, right? I hope so, yes.
Yeah, sure, yes.
Perfect then. So in that case, we will start recreating this data in the system from tomorrow, and then we'll take it forward from there, guys. Okay.